it's the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. I'm Juliet the daughter.
That must make me Kevin the dad.
And Dad, are you a maniac?
It depends on the situation.
Are you...
Sure, your mom would probably say that I have been sometimes.
Are you one of 10,000?
We'll find out.
Because this week we were talking about the album In My Tribe by 10,000 Maniacs. Obviously, no, there's not 10,000 of them. But, Dad, what do we need to know about the Maniacs in this band specifically?
Well, first thing is, I have to say, I really like the fact that I can type in the phrase 10K man in Wikipedia search line, and 10,000 Maniacs instantly appears.
That's good that that's what instantly appears on the internet.
The band first started as Still Life. It consisted of Dennis Drew on keyboards, Stephen Gustafson on bass, Chet Cardinale on drums, Robert Buck guitar, and Terry Newhouse vocals. John Lombardo, who would sometimes play guitar with Still Life, was invited to become a permanent member of the band. Gustafson invited 17-year-old Natalie Merchant to contribute vocals. Eventually, Terry Newhouse and Chet Cardinale left the band.
How did he know Natalie?
Oh.
Okay.
Don't know everything.
Hey, random 17-year-old, you want to sing?
Okay. Natalie Merchant became the main singer, and drummers came and went. The band then called themselves Burn Victims, and then 10,000 Maniacs, inspired by the 1964 proto-slasher film 2,000 Maniacs.
Okay. Have you seen the slasher film?
I have not yet.
It's also a good thing they didn't pick Burn Victims because there's a podcast called Burn Victims, I believe, that's out on the ether somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, the band name had to have been ironic, as you'd expect, like hardcore punk with a name like that, other than very polite music.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Natalie Ann Merchant was born October 26, 1963 in Jamestown, New York, which is like way out west New York.
Like near the Berkshires?
Like, no, beyond, like western New York.
Oh, I'm thinking like Western Mass. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, this is like way western New York. No TV in the house, as well as no newspaper, but she was exposed to a lot of music. She worked in a health food store at 16 because, of course. She did consider a career in special education after taking part in the summer program for disabled kids, but the rock and roll life came a calling, or the slightly rocking life.
Yeah.
Anyway, they performed as 10K Maniacs in September of 1981. They got tired of playing cover songs. Natalie Merchant handled the lyrics, John Lombardo the music. In March 1982, they recorded a 5-song EP, Human Conflict No. 5, on Mark Records. They played more gigs and briefly relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, when friends told them that there were plenty of gigs to be had. There weren't. After selling plasma and raking leaves to buy food...
Whoa! Those are jumps.
Yeah, the Maniacs moved back to Jamestown. In 1983, the band got a permanent drummer, Jerome Augustiniak. They recorded a full-length album, Secrets of the I Ching, again released on Mark Records. The song, My Mother the War, was a minor hit in the UK, and the band played some gigs there.
Okay, I thought they were English. Guess not.
No. Englishman Peter Leak became interested in the band and became their manager. He got them signed to Elektra Records in 1984. They recorded their second album, The Wishing Chair, in 1985. It did get some notice and got some good reviews. John Lombardo left the band in 1986 due to his frustration with lack of success in the direction of the band.
Oh, if only he held out just a little bit.
Well, stay tuned.
Okay.
The rest of 10K recorded In My Tribe, produced by Peter Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Jane Asher's brother, former member of the duo Peter and Gordon, and also producer of a lot of James Taylor and Linda Ronstadt records.
And also ended up producing a track, well, no, not a track. He produced one of Barbra Streisand's albums, and one of the tracks was featuring Paul McCartney, and I'm thinking, hope that wasn't an awkward day in the studio.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
This album was more pop rock oriented. It was released July 27, 1987, and it stayed on Billboard's 200 albums chart for 77 weeks, peaking all the way at...
Number 48.
Ooh, you are so close. Number 37.
I'm getting good with these.
You are. Their next album, Blind Man's Zoo, came out in 1989. It hit number 13 on the album chart. In 1990, John Lombardo helped the band remaster their first two independent records. They were released as a compilation titled Hope Chest, the Fredonia recordings 1982 to 1983.
Fredonia.
Fredonia, like the Marx Brothers.
Yep.
And there actually is a Fredonia in New York.
Huh.
John Lombardo formed a folk duo with Mary Ramsey called John and Mary. They opened for the 10Ks on their Hope Chest tour. The band took time off. Natalie Merchant gave the band a 2-year notice that she would be leaving for a solo career.
Wow.
The album, Our Time in Eden, came out in 1992. The band played at the MTV inaugural ball for Bill Clinton. And their final album, MTV Unplugged,
Yeah.
came out in October of 1993. The band got their biggest hit, a cover of Patti Smith and Bruce Springsteen's Because the Night, which had become Patti Smith's only top 40 hit back in 1977.
I love Patti Smith's version. It's very good.
As soon as Natalie Merchant officially left the band, Elektra dropped 10,000 Maniacs.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And then publish.
but they keep hanging on. They've got John Lombardo, he's back in the band, and Mary Ramsey, she's the singer now. But they do specify 10,000 Maniacs featuring Mary Ramsey. Natalie Merchant has released 9 albums of what I'd like to call NPR music. Which, do I have to even give a description?
No, just see the Parks and Rec episode where they do their parody of NPR with Dan Castellaneta as Derry Merbles. And they have to explain who Batman is.
Yes. And the Maniacs have been eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 2007.
I mean, everybody else is in there, but if this was strictly the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as it was supposed to be, no.
Yeah,
no.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I first heard their cover of Peace Train, which we'll get into that a little later.
We will.
Oh, we will. Then I heard Like the Weather and then What's the Matter Here? And those two songs led me to pick up the album In My Tribe on CD. I picked up Blind Man's Zoo, which, like, each song on the album got progressively darker and darker, and it just was not a fun listen.
Made you down in the dumps.
Yeah, pretty much. I did see them in concert at Great Woods, or whatever it was called, back at the time in 1988.
Oh, cool.
I think. But we'll have more on that concert later, too.
Uh-oh.
As I mentioned earlier, In My Tribe was produced by Peter Asher, and since he produced it, the sound is very clear and also quiet.
Oh, it's very good. Yes, I like it.
The lyrics are included, and they're not reproduced line by line, but in paragraph form because, of course.
Okay, well, I don't mind that. I mean, paragraph form's still pretty easy to read.
I suppose.
What about the cover art? We gonna talk about the cover art with the kids and the bows and arrows?
Yeah, there's like a lot of bows and arrows and kids.
No,
Designed by someone named Kosh, but it didn't specify if Kosh took those photos himself or if they were just found objects and he thought, yeah,
Hey,
this'll
this'll
work. I believe you owe me a Coke, Smithers. Okay, so let's just jump into it.
Opening track. What's the matter here?
Oh,
A happy sounding beginning if something is the matter. Then I listen to the rest of the song. The singer is observing some signs of child and spousal abuse from her neighbors next door. The son runs out of the house half-dressed, either from the waist down for a spanking or the waist up for a whipping. And the singer is trying to tell themselves, not my kid, not my business, but the rage and disgust are boiling under the surface. She wants to confront the abuser, but doesn't dare because it's not polite. And it made me sad because I remember when I was growing up, there were these neighbors we had next door where the kids and dad were always screaming. And I remember being so young and looking at you and mom and all of us kind of not knowing what to do. So if this song makes you uncomfortable, good. That's what it's supposed to do.
okay, well, those neighbors still live next door to us, but there's no more screaming and yelling.
Huh.
So
Okay.
something got straightened out,
Hopefully.
I guess.
Maybe there's a divorce.
But now that no, they're still together.
Oh, wow.
Because I had to go there next door and say, hey,
You got balls in the backyard.
we've got wooden wire coming to fix the fence that's leaning into your yard.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up throwing the balls back anyway. But they do yell at the dog a lot.
What'd the dog do?
Oh, that dog is a nut.
Oh, well, it must be acting up.
No matter what.
Must be going on when I'm at work, because I don't hear it when I come back home.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so anyway, this was written by Robert Buck and Natalie Merchant. And yeah, a woman witnesses her neighbors abusing their son. And she wants to say something, but she doesn't dare because I'm thinking retribution maybe? Because maybe they would beat on her. Who knows? Or maybe she thinks if I say something, the kid will get it worse. I mean, you could always call the police anonymously, I guess.
Mm.
Some of the lines I find a little too literary. Like, allegedly, the mother says, "If you don't mind, I will beat on your behind." And I imagine the kid's response would be, "Oh, yes, mother, I do mind. Please refrain. Thank you."
How polite.
Yes. And as for the line, "Oh, what's the matter here?" The word "oh" is spelled just the letter O.
Oh.
Very Shakespearean or pretentious. And O through the rest of the album is spelled just the letter O.
That's interesting because when I went on other lyric sites, they had the O with the OH, I think, for this video on YouTube. Oops.
Well, in the lyric sheet with the album, it's just the letter O. So
Autocorrect would be like, do you mean O with an OH?
unless you're Shakespeare, then we'll keep it as O. Anyway, musically, not a lot is really going on. The music never varies except for a guitar solo in the bridge. Even with the bridge, the variance is slight. And the music as a whole is like a polite drone with the guitar. The guitar just never seems to change the rhythm anyway. I mean, usually, it would go up and down, you get some like different chords or whatever, but it's just very consistent through the whole song. But hey, it's really a catchy song, and it's the mark of Asher.
Next track. Hey, Jack Kerouac.
What?
This song is an ode to the Beat poets. Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, and William Burroughs, which I looked up what happened with William Burroughs' wife.
Let's play William Tell.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Their writings inspired the beatniks, and most lived very tragic, fraught lives. I have not read their work except for Ginsberg's America. Strong and feeling with good lines, but rambles, although I think Stream of Consciousness was his oeuvre. But I'm familiar with their names. Mom hates Kerouac. She quotes Capote's "It's typing, not writing" when it comes to On the Road all the time. Chuck Vermette loves Ginsberg, and Evil Mitch probably loves all of them. I watched the MTV Unplugged performance where Natalie reads a mini bio of Jack Kerouac to prime the listener in case they're unfamiliar with him. I think what I love about this song is the folk arrangement. There's a very nice piano presence here, and there's even a banjo. I would associate beatniks more with jazz purely because in my mind they share the same aesthetic of guys in black with sunglasses and goatees banging bongos. This song has such a warmth to it, even though the men they wrote about were very blunt with their writing, which was intentional. I liked the song, and, Mom, I tried the first couple pages of On the Road, and I'm not turned off yet, so maybe I'll give it a go and form my own opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was written by Robert Buck and Natalie Merchant, and it's a song about the holy beat generation trinity of Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, and William Burroughs.
Which of them have you read?
I did read On the Road.
Uh-huh.
Which I read and hated.
Okay.
And it was one of those things where, I kept reading it and I thought, this is not going to get any better. And someone asked me, well, why don't you just stop? And I thought, well, if I've come this far, and if I read the whole thing, then I am free to criticize it, because I believe that I shouldn't criticize something that I haven't read or seen in full.
Okay, fair. But you're never going to get those minutes of your life back.
Yeah, well, I feel that, okay, now I can just like really go off on how terrible whatever it is or how great whatever it is really is.
Right.
But, that was just a slog to get through. Allen Ginsberg, I've tried some of his stuff, like, what's that one, Howl?
Oh, I haven't read Howl.
Yeah, a couple of paragraphs, and I thought, yeah, I think I'm pretty good. And Burroughs, I've tried. I've really tried. Naked Lunch, to quote Nelson from The Simpsons, I can think of two things wrong with that title. Did see the movie, though, which was really strange.
Oh, it was a movie? Who was in it?
Peter Weller as the Burroughs character. I believe David Cronenberg had directed it.
Oh, well, Cronenberg makes sense.
Yeah.
For doing the Beatnik adaptation. I'd watch it just to see.
So anyway, I'm not a Beat Generation fan at all, and I could go on and on about my intense dislike, but that's not what we're here for, is it?
Nope, we're here to talk about the song.
Yeah. Well, and I also have to say, my first exposure to the Beats was an episode of Happy Days where Richie fell in love with this beatnik girl, and he went to a poetry reading, and...
Oh, Mom quotes it all the time. Is that the birdseed one?
The birdseed one.
Can you give our listeners the birdseed one?
Oh, little bird in your cage, there is no birdseed for you today, only death. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Anyway, I thought Buck and Merchant really nailed Ginsberg in one line. Have the boys all grown up and their beauty faded? Because yes, the man liked them young. So much
Oh
so much
no.
so that he was a card-carrying member of NAMBLA, which listeners go look that up if you dare.
I'm gonna Google it, but I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yeah, and but again, it's a catchy song with a polite drone guitar, and
I looked it up. I am not saying what this is, but holy shit. Okay,
and
okay, can't erase that from my mind.
someone even made a documentary about that association.
Ugh.
He's in the video saying, "Yeah, this is great. Come on, lighten up, people."
That doesn't help with. No.
Yeah, anyway, it's a catchy song with once more polite drone guitar. Like I say, the music is just lit. It's very clear and it's very not muted, but quiet.
Yeah, yeah, quiet.
It's got Asher all over it. That's his MO. Ask Linda Ronstadt. Ask James Taylor.
Why does he like quiet?
I don't know.
Maybe he finds everything else too loud and he needs to make everything quiet to correct it or bring some balance to the universe.
That could be.
Next track, Like the Weather, another upbeat song about depression. The weather on the outside is matching the singer's inner state on the inside. She's praying for better weather and for her depression to pass. I think a great part of the song that describes her perspective is when the bell chimes noon and she realizes that for other people, the day is halfway over when she's just been immobile in bed. Interesting juxtaposition. Would it snap you out of a depressed funk or further entrench you? That's based on you and your mental health.
Okay, this was written by Natalie Merchant, and I was surprised that many people think this song is just about wanting to stay in bed because the weather's lousy outside,
No.
which is possible, but there's definitely a lot more going on here with lines like, a quiver in my voice as if I might cry. Well, by the force of will, my lungs are filled, and so I breathe. Like, yeah, I guess I got to keep doing this in and out thing. And lately it seems this big bed is where I never leave. And then it's noon, and like you said, she's still in bed, and she thinks about how her significant other has already put in half a day's work.
Yeah.
And then after the bridge, she sings, it's been such a long time since my better days. I say my prayers nightly that this will pass away. So, best song ever about depression? Probably, because the music is just so happy.
A happy song about depression doesn't mean it's the best, though. It just means it has a distinct style.
Okay, so happiest song about depression. then.
Yes, yes.
What is the best song about depression? Listeners, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Ooh, how do we define the best song about depression? Is it something that also gets you depressed or something that's truthful about how it depicts depression?
Well, I know that the jam song That's Entertainment caused Dave Swanson to go back to bed.
Meanwhile, I listened to that on loop when I came back from my flight to Atlanta because I just couldn't get it out of my head. I'm like, this song rules. Hell yeah.
Okay, good. Good for
Next
you.
track, yes. I'm not David Swanson. Next track, Cherry Tree. No reference to a cherry tree at all. Only fruit is an apple in reference to the story from Genesis, even though in the Bible the type of fruit is never mentioned. Maybe it's an allude to I cannot tell a lie? But the truth here is the singer cannot read. They're watching someone reading a magazine and wondering what the words on the page say to get them to react the way they do. They're a bit afraid but also fantasize about the day they're able to read and devour so many books. I remember being a kid and wondering why kids around me struggled with reading out loud. And I later had the thought as I started to grow up, oh wow, maybe their parents didn't have time to read with them, which made me very sad. Being read to by your parents is a privilege as a kid, although I think because it was introduced to me at such an early age, I kind of grew out of it faster than Mom maybe realized. She was trying to have me read with her when I was approaching double digits, and I'm like, I want to read books by myself. I hope the listener learns to read one day and that she's less afraid of it as she learns and grows.
Okay, this was written by Robert Buck and Natalie Merchant. And yes, this is the illiteracy song. Or maybe the literacy song, one or the other, take your pick. Anyway, I read something really quick that Natalie Merchant said that this was about her grandfather who was so busy working, just did not learn how to read. Anyway, a woman is looking over someone's shoulder while that person is trying to read their magazine. The woman apologizes, but she's trying to figure out why the magazine reader is reacting the way that they are. She then confesses that she cannot read to save her life. She sings, Eve, pull down the apple and give a taste to me. If she did, that would be wonderful. That led me to do a search on the tree, which is referred to as the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which, long title there. Anyway, the song's title is never mentioned in this song,
Nope.
but my theory is cherry tree sounds better than apple tree. Anyway, proliteracy.org estimates that there are 59 million adults struggling with not only basic reading, but writing, math, and computer skills as well. And there are loads of literacy centers around the country. And there's a lot in Rhode Island, just alone. I did some research, and there's a heck of a lot. I mean, local libraries for starters, and there are centers that are dedicated just to learning how to read.
It's a whole plot point in the fantasy series that I'm reading where the hero Feyre is illiterate because she's too busy trying to keep her family alive by hunting and gathering, and her sisters just refuse to help out. So when she's put through these trials for all this suffering, her last challenge is she has to read something on a wall, and she's just frozen, and all the other fairies trying to help her are like, oh my god, she can't read! It's a very tense moment in the book.
What's the book?
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Is that one of those Sarah Maas books?
Yes, it is.
Hey, I keep up with you kids. And again, it's all very happy, happy music.
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Anyway, next track, The Painted Desert. That'd be a good name for a restaurant. Like Painted Burrow. I don't know, be a good name for something.
Well, yeah, definitely the Painted Desert, because the Painted Burrow, all I can think of was when Mike and I went to Tijuana.
Oh, no, Tijuana.
And they tried passing off a burro that was painted as a zebra. Was not working. Poor burro.
No.
I hope it escaped.
This song has a lot of beautiful imagery, but I'm not sure what it means, so I'll try my best. Based on the lyrics, the singer's partner/lover temporarily left and said they'll reunite in the summer, but the singer doesn't think that will actually happen, or if it does happen, it'll be too late. Maybe she's thinking she lost her partner to this beautiful landscape that she'll never be able to compete with. That's the most I got, so I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Okay, cool.
Okay, they may be wrong. This was written by Jerome Augustiniak and Natalie Merchant. A couple was supposed to go to the Painted Desert, but only one person went and the other stayed behind. She sings about waiting until summer before she goes out, if she even does. She asks about cacti blooming near roadside stands selling cowboy gear sewn in Japan. And she notes that the other person, quote, met a new friend in the canyon, or so you wrote, unquote. And she is aware that they shared a blanket in the cooling sand. Can I get an Astro Ruh-roh?
And there was only one blanket left.
Yep. And she sings about how she was going to go in May, but the plan may have changed due to the blanket sharing, I bet. And also, she hasn't heard a word from the other person since Phoenix and Tucson. And she sings, April is over. Will you tell me how long before I can be there? And just never hears from them. And once again, the music is delivered as a pleasant drone. And I found the song to be also very meditative.
Okay. Next track, Don't Talk. Dad, if you don't talk, we're not going to have a show. The singer's man is in an altered state of mind due to alcohol, so she sets some firm boundaries. Number one being, don't talk, because he's just going to lie and make excuses. At first I thought this song was going to be an empowering breakup song about recognizing a partner is compulsively lying to you and finally having enough to the point that you set a boundary and if it's crossed, you leave. But in this song, she says, you are not going to talk and we will discuss this in the morning when your head clears. So maybe she will leave him or maybe she won't. We don't know. But a good reminder to set healthy boundaries when someone's toxic behavior or their worst traits start to affect your behavior and peace of mind.
This was written by Dennis Drew and Natalie Merchant. This is the alcoholism song. She doesn't want the drinker to talk, just to listen to her. If they want to talk, she wants to wait until the morning when the drinker's head is clear. But she also says, but until then, you may talk, but I won't hear, because you're probably just rambling on like drunkards tend to do.
Not listening.
Yep. Musically, things are a little different. We get quietly thundering drums that reminded me of Stranded in the Jungle by the Cadets. Doom, 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 doom.
I did the arm flapping as well.
Very good.
Characters.
Those of you who get the video portion of this show
which does not exist.
saw that.
Next track?
Oh, yes.
Peace Train.
Peace Train.
I knew this was an anthem for peace. I also know that Yusuf Islam / Cat Stevens wrote it along I know that he wrote it, and there was an article that came out called "There Goes the Peace Train" when his views became more militant. I think Mom remembered reading it in the paper, and I knew his music only from the soundtrack to Harold and Maude, which everyone should watch at least once. It's a very good movie. This is an anthem for peace, leaning more into what I call a granola hippie song. The lady singer sounds lovely singing it, and she makes it a call. Adding percussion to sound like clapping gives it the vibe of audience participation, calling for the peace train to come. It creates a communal mood, which I'm sure is the intention. As the original, it sounds like for 10,000 Maniacs, all they did was they transposed the key for Natalie's voice, and that was it. I'm not a fan of Yusuf slash Katz's voice there. It sounds like he's trying to imitate other folk singers, and he sounds so pissed. I'm like, I'm not sure I want to get peace with you, pal. 10,000 Maniacs is more loving and feels like a call to come together, so I think I'll ride their peace train instead.
Okay, first I'd like to apologize for having had you having you listen to Cat Stevens' version of Peace Train.
Thank you for sending me Love Train instead.
You're welcome.
That was very nice.
Yes, I had to make it up to you somehow.
And I like how in the performance of Soul Train, they're actually moving side to side like train cars. That was cute.
That's choreography.
Yep.
Okay, this was written by Cat Stevens, now known as Yusuf Islam. The guy sold 100 million records and has more than 2 billion streams, which just goes to show there's no accounting for taste, because I guess people like hippy-dippy soft rock crap, I guess. Yes, there, I
He
said.
doesn't care. You can't cancel him. He's not on social media. He's just a guy who reads his Kindle on his couch. You guys aren't going to do anything coming for my dad.
I don't care. I hate soft rock. I just hate it, hate it, hate it.
You don't hate all soft rock, though.
I hate most of it from the 70s.
Well, you like...
There's a lot of bad 70s.
There is, but you like Steely Dan, okay?
Yeah, because they're pissed.
They're pissed, but they're being quiet about it.
Yeah. Well, their thing was, and not to get off track here, not to get off track of the Peace Train, but I think their thing was like, okay, we've got these really sarcastic lyrics. How are we going to put them across on radio?
Juxtaposition.
Yes, yacht rock. We
Anyway.
shall invent yacht rock. Anyway,
Back to this.
yeah, I'm sure Peace Train is considered yacht rock too. Now, this was the first song released as a single from In My Tribe. Then Cat Stevens made some comments supporting the fatwa against Salman Rushdie.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
He did that?
that was him. He was
Okay.
that guy.
Okay, well, fuck you, Cat.
So this led to 10K Maniacs having Peace Train deleted from subsequent pressings of In My Tribe.
Good for them.
So I have an original first pressing. I don't know if it's worth anything or not because, I mean, even I skip over the song. I sure as hell didn't download it into any of my MP3 players.
Here's the thing. If you were to try to put that CD on eBay, there'd be some people who would buy it because of the fatwa. There would be people who wouldn't buy it because of the fatwa. And then there are people who fall into the category of they have no idea about what that fatwa even was.
Yep. Anyway, I've hated this song since it came out in 1971, and this year marks 55 years of me still hating it. I just do. I don't care if it's the Maniacs version, Cat Stevens version, it doesn't matter. But I did notice one thing, that I think removing Peace Train from In My Tribe makes it a better album because I listened to it and I thought, this just sounds so different from every other song on this album, especially with the sing-along chorus, and it's just terrible. That's why I sent you Love Train by the OJs. It's just a better Train song. Lyrically, it's kind of as naive as Peace Train, like, hey, everybody, let's get on and we'll all get along. But, man, it's funky, and for God's sake, it's the OJs, and they've got the choreography down.
And you can dance to it.
And you can dance to it, darn right.
Damn, I never thought Cat Stevens would have something in common with Roald Dahl, but here we are. Oh yeah, Roald Dahl also called for the fatwa on Salman Rushdie's head.
And look what happened to him, dead.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And Salman? He's still alive by
Still
the grace
alive,
of God.
and he's got a pretty cool-looking eye patch there.
Yeah, I know, but we all know the reason why he has it.
Yeah, I know.
Go read Knife. It's a very good book.
I read it.
Next track, now that we're done with that, Gun Shy. Singer is talking to her brother Jude, who came home from serving in the military. He's become cut dry and clean cut. But she hopes they haven't destroyed his soul too, that he doesn't see enemies where there are none and become trigger happy. She also doesn't hope he becomes jingoistic with his views. The final lyric is the important one. They're so good at making soldiers, but they're not so good making men. I think that's a fear people have of how their loved ones will behave when they come home and they have to readjust to civilian life. This is the other end of the extreme where they become militant and cruel. And I'm going to get on a soapbox here. I didn't write this, but it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. So a study was recently done about how a lot of men in my generation, which is Gen Z, are becoming a lot more militant and a lot more alt-right.
Mm-hmm.
And this really happened, in my opinion, this really accelerated during COVID. You have a lot of young boys who are at home alone, and they're isolated from their friends, and they feel like they have no one to talk to, and they're sad and depressed, but because of what the patriarchy teaches these boys, they feel like they can't reach out to anybody or they're perceived as weak. So what happens? They fall down the alt-right rabbit holes of men saying, hey, you're angry and you're sad, and it's these people's fucking fault. Which is why I was worried about Sam during COVID when Anna was saying he was all alone in his room. I'm like, I hope he's not falling down any rabbit holes. But I feel like one other thing that happens to these boys is they have all this rage percolating inside them and they want to take it out on people, entering the military with their recruitment in public high schools and colleges, saying, hey, you want to be a man? Join the army. Now, it's not wrong to join the army if you genuinely want to serve your country and you want to give back. I come from a military family. I've got Uncle Joe and I've got a lot of people who served in it. But I feel like it's preying on young boys sort of the same way that the alt-right population is. And there are some people who come out of the military critiquing them for how they did exploit those kids who didn't really have any possibilities at home. But then there are other people who just fall in line and are like, America, fuck yeah! So it's just, it is so sad and heartbreaking to feel like because men feel like they can't be vulnerable in this world and they can't cry, that they either become Proud Boys or they join the military and be like, America's perfect and we never did anything wrong, the end. Anyway, I feel like if this song was written now, it'd be about someone becoming a police officer and hoping they didn't lose their humanity. It's a very poignant message and one I hope that Jude heard.
This was written by Natalie Merchant, and yes, he did hear it. It's about her brother Jude, who joined the Army, and Natalie Merchant said she kind of regretted mentioning his name.
Oh, and not changing it to like Tommy or Bill or something?
Because he got crap for it
Oh, no.
when he was stationed in Germany at the time, because those military brass, they were able to put two and two together and figure out,
Hey, you're the
Jude
kid in the song.
Merchant. Yeah.
Which also, in terms of places to be stationed around the world, Germany isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
To the grand scheme of things, it's like you could be there or you could be in Iran right now.
Okay, yeah. So Natalie Merchant was disappointed that her brother joined the service. And the lines, I don't mean to spoil your homecoming, but baby brother, you should expect me to, because it's all about her. Now, I'm pretty sure Uncle Joe would take exception to the lines, they're so good at making soldiers, but not as good as making men.
He would too, yeah.
I'm just guessing that this would easily be his least favorite song on the album if he ever listened to it.
Which he won't.
No. So there we are.
So there it is. Next track, My Sister Rose. This song feels part wedding speech, part wedding gift. Rose is getting married, and the singer sings about how the families will come together and how she'll always see Rose as her sister before she sees her as a wife. The guitar solo here sounds a little like a Greek bouzouki, and the playing is highly impressive. But it feels like they're trying to do part Mediterranean dance, like we would see at the Greek festival, part reggae song, so it seems musically confused. But then again, that could also be the musical sound of blending families. And everyone's having a great time anyway, dancing and eating cake, so who are we to rain on their parade? If this was the wedding gift, it's a very sweet one to receive. Does she actually have a sister named Rose?
Yes, and it was an Italian wedding.
Oh, okay.
Yep, because they were all Italian.
Ah.
This was written by Jerome Augustiniak and Natalie Merchant. And yes, like I just said, it was based on her sister's Rose getting married to her husband Rocky. And that is basically it, just about all the things going on.
And Jude's like, why couldn't I get a song like that? Well, now I know who your favorite sibling is.
Why didn't I get invited to the wedding?
Oh.
Because you're out in Germany. And I always thought like the music is something that you would hear at an Italian wedding. I think they nailed it. And it's very danceable, whether you're drunk or sober at the reception.
Yeah. Next track, a campfire song. Not to be confused with SpongeBob's The Campfire Song, which I saw your comment. Poor Patrick.
just trying to keep up with it all.
But did you like the song?
Yes, and help me out here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a new SpongeBob voice? Because I'm listening to this and I thought, this doesn't sound like the regular guy.
No, it's still Tom Kenny.
Really?
That's actually older SpongeBob.
Huh.
Yeah. I think his
Oh.
voice just changed over the years.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, my first note. Oh, hi, Michael Stipe, because I saw he sang them with this. He sang this with them live, and I thought, oh well, maybe that was just like a special thing. Nope, that's him.
Was this on MTV Unplugged? Did he sing live?
No, it was just a video that somebody uploaded to YouTube. I guess they were in the concert and they had their little camera. Yeah.
Okay.
So this isn't a song about camping, but rather a folk song / fable you could tell around the campfire while someone's playing a guitar and you're eating your chili like the guys in Blazing Saddles. Greedy bosses pillage the earth and exploit workers to gain profit by plundering mines and felling trees. But behind the boss is a frightened little man who feels like he's missing something from life. I like to imagine this is the same universe as Working for the Man, and Roy Orbison's going to make sure the boss gets his. Comforting sound they create, and maybe they can make a bonfire to offer sacrifice to put an end to the boss.
Aha. This is written by Natalie Merchant. My mountain, my river, my mind, my garden, my forest. It's all mine. Mine, mine, I tell you. Like Daffy Duck. Mine, 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 mine.
Or like
But
that's-
apparently, it's all a lie.
Or like that song Mine in Pocahontas.
I can't remember it.
I
I'll
didn't
take
see
your
it,
word for
but
it.
I've seen like clips of the song.
I saw the movie, can't remember much.
Mm.
The bridge says he was trying to reach for something immaterial, but he couldn't get it. So he's filling up his empty life with stuff instead. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. And yes, Michael Stipe of REM provides the other voice in the bridge. Now, here's something with that pertains to that video that you watched. When I saw 10,000 Maniacs at Great Woods, they played this song, and son of a gun, Michael Stipe came out on stage to sing his part
Yo!
from the record because REM was in town to play Great Woods the night after, I think.
That worked out really well.
And the audience just lost his shit.
Wow.
Lost their shit when he walked out because
you
it was
lose
just
it?
totally unexpected. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy shit, that's Michael Stipe. But I wasn't like, no, like everyone else was.
You're just like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah. And then I realized, oh, yeah, they're here tomorrow. So maybe it's the same. I'll have to look at that video. Maybe it's the same
Maybe.
show. Probably the same show. It's got to be.
Next track, City of Angels, not to be confused with the musical of the same name. I like how the music builds right before the end. A song about Los Angeles and the everyday tragedies of the city. Some people love LA, especially if they grew up there.
Especially Randy Newman. I love LA.
Others, like Bowie, see it as, quote, a scab on the backside of humanity.
Yeah.
So, the way I see this song is it's the perspective of a starlet moved out here to get famous, but when she sees all of the city, she realizes she led a pretty privileged life. And no matter where you go, there's always going to be people suffering.
This is written by Robert Buck and Natalie Merchant. So someone goes to Los Angeles for the very first time, and boy, is it an eye-opening experience. People are stumbling and staggering, falling and dragging themselves along the streets of heaven, allegedly. But there's no halos, no wings, and no blessed table. So, hey, welcome to reality.
Have you been to LA? Like when you went to California?
Yeah, when Mike and I went, that was back in '93, and yeah, it was quite the people watching locale. There's a little bit of everything going on.
Where would you rather go to watch people? LA or Florida?
Oh, wow, let's see. I'm thinking, which is currently safer to be in?
Good question.
Oh, wow, it's a tie there. Wow, I'm going to have to think about that one.
One has gators.
And people doing crazy things with gators. So I'm going to go with the gators
Okay.
because, they may be hungry. And it's all served up with a dreamlike guitar drone, which seems to be their calling card, which I've probably said before.
Final track, Verdi Cries. Verdi is the Italian opera composer most famous for Rigoletto, Aida, Macbeth in Italian, Othello in Italian, and La Traviata.
And Hamletto.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
No. The singer is on vacation, and the neighboring hotel room plays Verdi every morning. She listens to Aida mostly, which is the opera where the lovers are sealed alive inside a tomb as punishment for their transgressions because he was supposed to marry Pharaoh's daughter. And she also steals the pastry room service leaves for him, but that he doesn't touch, which, rude, what if you wanted it later for a snack? And these are the memories of the vacation that stay with her the most. A melancholy song that leaves you with the feeling after it concludes.
This was written by Natalie Merchant. She's staying at a hotel, I'm assuming somewhere in Europe. And since Verdi operas are coming through the door, I'll assume it's Italy, even though, yes, Verdi operas can come through any door in any country in the world, but, indulge me. Yeah, so she ends up stealing the pastry from the man in room 119, and I'm thinking, what the hell? And this is going to sound weird, but that always kind of reminds me of What's Up, Doc, where they'd always have, like,
Oh, yeah, the rotating trays of food?
yeah, like right
Yeah.
outside the door. I'm like, wow, anyone could just come along and take that.
And
And
yank it.
is that Natalie Merchant I see walking up the aisle and pushing the bellboy out of the way?
What
And
is it that Barbara Streisand orders? She wants a roast beef sandwich,
yeah,
and she wants like an ice cream dessert
I
and
can't
some
remember
other
the whole
stuff.
thing, but yeah, and she just scoops it up. There you
I'm
go.
gonna go on a tangent really quick. Mike and I were talking about Peter Bogdanovich
Hmm.
because I watched Paper Moon for the first time, and he made a good point. It's like his movies really aren't talked about all that much anymore, but people, when they do, acknowledge that they're just really good. Do you think it's because they're kind of part of the zeitgeist of the time and they feel dated but comfortably dated? Like, why do you think we don't talk about his stuff as much?
Because he started off great, and then the more movies he made, the worse he got.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
And then he had a little bit of a comeback in the 80s, but yeah, he was just like unstoppable in the 70s, and then the 80s arrived, and
Maybe he just needed a break.
yeah, or maybe, maybe the second 70s was just his decade.
Anyway,
Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, like, he left his tray outside the door, and she eats them at the shore, draws a jackal headed woman in the sand, and learns most of the score to Aida. And she sings about how she can still recall all these moments from all those years ago. And side note here, when I worked at Blue Cross, one of my coworkers, her name was Aida, because her parents were like hardcore into the opera,
wow, okay.
and they named all their kids. They had all daughters, all girls. They named them after um, Italian operas.
Wow, do you know what the other names were?
That I do not, unfortunately.
Oh,
And
that'd be
Aida,
cool.
unfortunately, she always hated her name. She just never liked that opera.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
well, okay. If you don't like the opera, then that's kind of rough.
yeah, yeah. This is the only song that the rest of the Maniacs do not play on.
Oh,
And so the seeds of a solo career for Natalie Merchant were planted. She
feels like a.
realized, wait a minute, I don't need those 5 other guys. I can do this myself. I often do.
Oh, it feels like a good note to end the album on then.
Hmm.
Overall, 10,000 Maniacs is very soothing. I can definitely see them fitting in with REM and other bands of that ilk. And YouTube started recommending music to me it called 90s Whimsigoth. So I feel like that sums up the vibe quite well.
Just from listening to In My Tribe?
Yeah, over the course of a week. So if you want to gently yearn, give this album a try.
So what do they consider whimsigoth?
Let me go on Google and you can give your opinions and I'll tell you.
Okay, I have not listened to this album in ages, and it's better than I remember. Natalie Merchant's sanctimoniousness can kind of get on my nerves, which is probably why I don't listen to the album a lot, but I cannot deny that the music is catchy and Peter Asher's production is perfectly suited for the band.
Okay, 90s Whimsigoth, short for whimsical goth, is a moody, romantic, and celestial inspired aesthetic that blends dark gothic elements with bohemian, fairy, and witchy motifs, popularized by 90s cultural icons and shows like Practical Magic, The Craft, and Charmed. So some bands included are The Cranberries,
Okay?
Florence and the Machine,
Yep,
Stevie Nicks slash Fleetwood Mac,
yep,
Kate Bush,
yep.
and those are just some of them off the top of my head. And The Cure gets mentioned a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
and Spellbound by Susie and the Banshees.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
I have all that stuff.
So I guess you like Whimsigoth then.
Unknowingly so. Yeah. And there's one thing I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
With like how you said, REM and 10,000 Maniacs, bands of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, always thought REM would still be bigger, but you just don't hear them on the radio as much unless it's like college rock station. They've kind of been relegated to that. I mean, you don't hear them on the top 40 anymore. They definitely had their time. It's kind of how, like, everyone thought that Emerson, Lake, and Palmer from the 70s. Yeah, they were going to live forever. They were going to be still popular. And now we move to the 90s, and it's what? ABBA? ABBA is the most popular band from the 70s, not ELP. What happened? It just goes to show you never know.
I will say, Vine did bring back Everybody Hurts into the popular consciousness again with those trends. So maybe you just gotta wait for TikTok and the internets to pick a random song and make that the big thing.
To bestow their grace upon whichever band is waiting for. Yeah, I need the royalties. I need the royalties, man,
Yep.
so I can quit my part-time job at BK. Come on.
It's Vine with Everybody Hurts, or sometimes it's a guy on a skateboard with cranberry juice skateboarding to Fleetwood Mac. You never know what it's going to be.
I never know.
All right, as always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Remember, the more you interact with a video, the greater chance we have of appearing on the YouTube homepage. If you follow me on social media, I post all the episodes there. If you're friends with Dad, tell him what you want to listen to, and he'll send an email right to your inbox. As always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. We will be back next time with another album to nitpick and gripe about. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, adjusting for inflation, 10,000 Maniacs in 1987 is equivalent to 29,315 Maniacs today.
Too many.